How's everyone doing? You alright? Cody here, Cody Lachey. Follow me on Twitter at Cody, Cody, Lachey, Lachey. I'm contacting you today. I keep doing these videos now on like current affairs, things I've got experience of. Um, I'm a former gang member, former criminal, been arrested for firearms, weapons, offensive weapons, knives, witness intimidation, threats to kill numerous times. The list goes on. Contacting you today about in the past 24 hours here in Manchester, there has been two stabbings. One in Gorton, where the 28-year-old male died of his injuries, and one this dinner time in Moss Side, where a 21-year-old lad has been stabbed to death. Now, I'm sick of seeing these headlines. Like now, knife crime seems to be taking over gun crime as the main killer on our streets here in Manchester. Well, and across the UK, to be absolutely honest. Um, I think that knives are obviously readily available. There's less police on the streets than there's ever been. With the budget that was announced last week, there's going to be another £3.5 million or £3.5 billion worth of cuts, which means that that's more police officers off the streets now. So that means that technically there's going to be a green light for criminals, gang members to go and commit these sort of crimes. Now, like I say, I'm not backing the police here in any way, shape, or form. I'm just giving my honest opinion. With less and less police officers on the street, there's no visual deterrent there. The police are overstretched, overworked, and massively understaffed. They've got low morale. And all the resources they've got are stretched across the board. And knife crime seems to be they're not governing it. They're not paying attention to it, or they can't pay attention to it because they've not got the numbers. So that's then leaving people out there with knives and stuff. And like I say, as a former gang member and stuff growing up, I used to have knives and stuff. I've been stabbed. I've got like a nice little scar on me on there. But yeah, like lads are carrying knives because, one, I think for safety reasons, because they don't feel safe, because there's not the numbers of police about, and two, because there is genuinely a gang culture within Manchester. Poverty is people are being born into poverty all the time, and people are turning to crime out of necessity. Not out of necessarily want. Some people do want to commit crime, obviously, but there's a necessity there where people are going out to commit crimes, selling drugs in order to feed themselves and feed their families and everything. And I don't blame them for that. But in my honest opinion, the police have lost control of the streets. I think it's only going to get worse. I think that these zombie knives now, these 2 foot like zombie knives with like, you're only carrying them for bad intentions. There's no way you're carrying them. You're not carrying a knife for protection or anything else. Some people may do. Some people might be paranoid and think they're going to become a victim. And I'm talking about gangs. I'm not talking about and the youth of today. I'm not talking about like your Joe Public. I'm talking about your gangs and your criminals and everything. They might carry weapons and everything with the intention of stabbing each other. But these two people here, this 28-year-old guy, God bless him, may rest in peace, and the 21-year-old guy who's died, God bless him, may rest in peace as well. My thoughts and prayers are with your family at this sad time. This has only happened like literally in the last 24 hours. The latest killing happened around lunchtime today in Moss Side. And I just think that my personal opinion is the police have lost control of the streets. The police will obviously never admit this. If the police, according to the police in Manchester, there's no gun crime in Manchester, there's no knife crime in Manchester, and the police are on top of it all. But that's absolute rubbish. I know that, you know that. But again, the police is hand tied by the government and the Ministry of Justice and everything else. And like I say, it's a green light for criminals to go and commit these sorts of offences and stuff. And well, the police resources, they're all over the show. The police are literally chasing the tails now. As well as today, as this stabbing, there's been the terrorist atrocity over in Brussels with the terrorist attack over there, where I think 34 people are currently dead. That number could obviously significantly rise. And like I say, it's just the security services are not doing what they're employed to do. They've got a limited budget, which is getting like smaller and smaller and smaller, and criminals are getting more and more clever. And like I say, how many more people are going to die on the streets? I mean, Manchester, we had problems in the 90s and the 2000s, the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s with gun crime. We was labelled Gunchester by the media. I used to be involved with a gang from Manchester that when 11 members went to prison, 11 members of my previous associates went to prison, gun crime in Manchester, and this is a true fact, fell by 92%, right? That's how big they was, and that's how dangerous the lads were, right? Um, Now it's knife crime, and we're in danger. Personally, I think that the next headlines are going to be knife Chester. Like I say, knives are readily available. I've got about 10 just to my left there in the kitchen. Um, there's so many stores in Manchester, shops in Manchester that sell knives, weapons, and they're not governed. You can just walk in and buy them. It's simple as that. The shopkeeper wants your money, you want a knife. And if you're in possession of an offensive weapon, a bladed article, a knife, a machete, um, a zombie, these zombie like knives, things that are about, and you get into an altercation, you're going to kick off with somebody there. You're going to use it, aren't you? You're not buying it to be like, oh, it's not there for show. It's there to hurt people and to maim people, and with the fact they're so cheap and stuff, and people can buy them on the black market as well on the internet and stuff. I just find it like laughable the way the country is. I mean, when's it going to stop? I mean, you've got school kids. There's like young Bailey Gwynn in Scotland who was stabbed to death at school. You've got stabbings in London all the time. You've got stabbings in Manchester, Birmingham. Knives are just readily available, aren't they? And I'm 6'4", like I'm a big lad, but if someone pulls a machete out on me, it's a good equaliser, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It straight away is. I learnt from a young age that violence is a good weapon to control people, and I genuinely do believe that. But I'm not saying it's right, and I'm not saying go out and commit these sorts of crimes, definitely not. But it's a fact, and it just absolutely astounds me, and like messes like it's shocking. But I'm not shocked because I live in Manchester, raised in Manchester, born and bred. You know what I mean? But the simple fact is it's not. It's only going to get worse and stuff. And nothing that happens in this city, in any regards, shocks me. I've worked the doors in the city for years. It just it's on the increase. We live in a dangerous country. Now, Manchester, in my personal opinion, is lawless. I believe the city is lawless. I can't even tell you the last time I saw a physical presence in Manchester, or where I like the area, the new area that I now live in. You don't see the police about. They're a non-entity in Manchester, and it's leaving the floodgates open for criminals to commit these sorts of offences. And like I say, I'm just being honest. I'm just giving my honest opinion from a former gang member and from a former criminal's perspective. And I believe that I think that there's no respect for the police in Manchester. I believe that we don't have any respect for the police in Manchester. The answer for the police to cover the numbers that they've lost is, we'll get a load of PCSOs, plastic police officers to you and I. People that have got the same powers of arrest as you and I. Now, if a PCSO walks up to you, right, and tries to grab hold of me or something, I just laugh and walk away, because they've got the same powers of arrest as you and I. Now, growing up on the estates of Manchester, right, why am I going to respect some jumped up plastic police officer that's got the same powers of arrest as you and I? I'm not, am I? It's not happening. I just get laughed out, mate. The police get terrorised, right? Where back in the 60s and 70s and 80s, people used to respect the police and be like scared of the... When my mum was growing up and all that, they'd be scared. My mum would be scared of the police. Like a slap round the ear hole and all that, because they were scared of them, they respected them. Nowadays, kids tell the police to fuck off. And it's a fact. People tell me I'm wrong, but I know I'm not wrong. It's a fact. I've seen it with my own... I've done it myself. I've been arrested for police assault. I got a fine for that. My first offence, that actually, back in 2007. The way the police are and the corruption within the police, people don't respect the police. Then you put the facts in that the police are cutting numbers again, or the government are cutting police numbers again. Knife crime, gun crime and crime in general is on the rise, and they're putting people's safety at risk. And these people on these intercity estates are turning around to gangsters, gang members, gang elders to say, listen, I've got a problem. We sort it out. And the simple fact is, these gang members and these hard men in the community are able to do this because the fact is, like, the police don't turn up. The police are taking 2 days to attend like a break-in. 2 days, 3 days for a break-in. It's just, the police are laughable. They're a laughing stock in Manchester. No one respects them, and as a result of the lack of police on the streets and everything, and lack of intelligence and lack of physical, like, bobbies on the beat, physical deterrence, it's not there. And as a result, 2 people sadly have been killed in the past 24 hours due to knife crime. So there's definitely a problem. But yeah, don't carry knives, stay safe, be vigilant, and protect yourselves at all times. Speak soon, guys. God bless. Take care. Bye.